We are literally 1 month away from WWE 2K24 release date, and yet we still don't know what the DLC packs look like, nor the superstars that will be included. So in today's video, I will be giving you guys my full predictions on which superstars will be included in WWE 2K24 DLC, with the first superstar being Carlito. Now, I do believe Carlito will be included in the WWE 2K24 DLC because he did make his return back at the pay-per-view Backlash on May 6th of 2023. And also, if you look at Zelina Vega attire in the game right now, this is the same attire that she wore at the pay-per-view Backlash of 2023. So I wouldn't be surprised if Carlito make the cut in the DLC. Now, another superstar I also believe will be alongside Carlito in this DLC as well is Savio Vega. Now, Savio Vega was last seen in WWE 2K16, but he also did make a small appearance at the pay-per-view Backlash as well with Carlito. So I do believe he will be included as well. Now, another superstar that I also believe will be included in the WWE 2K24 DLC is Michelle McCool. Now, Michelle McCool was last seen in WWE 13, but she did make her return back at the Women's Royal Rumble back on January the 29th of 2023. So I feel like 2K had enough time to put her into the DLC for this year's game, because if you think about it, WWE 2K23 was released on March 14th of 2023. So that is literally over a year when she made her brief return at the Women's Royal Rumble going into WWE 2K24. And plus, 2K should include her into this year's DLC because she was literally one of the top divas back in the day. Also, another women's superstar that should be included into this year's DLC is Nia Jax. Now, Nia Jax did make a return back to the WWE on an episode of Raw on September the 11th of 2023, which again is enough time for 2K to include her into the game. But knowing 2K, they would bring her in as DLC since she returned back to the WWE around September. So I wouldn't be surprised if she is in DLC for this year's game. Now, that doesn't stop for the women's return just yet, because I also do believe that Kairi Sane will be included in this year's game DLC. And the reason for that being is because Kairi Sane did make her return at the PLE Crown Jewels on November the 4th of 2023. Plus, she is playing a huge role in the WWE as well, and she is also a part of the Kabuki Warriors, and she is also one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions with Asuka. So I wouldn't be surprised if she makes the cut for DLC. Now, when it comes to the legends in the DLC pack, I do believe the Dudley Boys will be included as well. And the reason for that being is because around September the 7th of 2023, they reportedly signed a WWE Legends contract months back, which again is enough time for 2K to add them in the game as well. Now, this superstar right here, or shall I say commentator Pat McAfee, will most likely be included in this year's DLC. And the reason why I believe Pat McAfee will be included in this year's DLC because Pat McAfee was reportedly supposed to be in 2K23 DLC, but something happened right there and he was not included. And also because Pat McAfee did make his NXT debut back in 2018, which was a long time ago, but he wrestled back in 2022 of WrestleMania 38, and he most recently just returned back to the Raw commentary team on January the 29th of 2024. Now, with all of those dates including Pat McAfee, and plus he was reportedly supposed to be in 2K23 because we have all of his motions still, that is why I believe he will be in this year's DLC. Now, when it comes to the NXT side of things, we do know based off previous 2K games that they will most likely include a couple of NXT superstars in these DLC packs. And it really don't matter when did they make their debut to NXT, they just will hit us with a couple of NXT superstars in these DLC packs. But again, when it comes to the NXT superstars, I do believe that Von Wagner, Lola Vice, Elektra Lopez, Oba Femi, and Kalani Jordan will be included in this year's DLC. Now, when it comes to the AEW side of things, I do believe that Jade Cargill, which she did sign her contract with the WWE back in September 26th of 2023, and she recently just made her debut at the Royal Rumble, will be included in this year's DLC, as well as Dragon Lee because he did make his WWE debut back on March 21st of 2023, as well as Lexis King because he did sign with the WWE back in August of 2023. So I do believe those three former AEW superstars will be included in this year's DLC. Now, when it comes to another popular diva superstar being in this year's game, I do believe that Melina will be included in this year's DLC. And the reason for that being is because she did make her return, well, a brief return back at the Royal Rumble of 2022, which was a long time ago. And plus, why not add her into this year's DLC? The popularity is there, and you would most likely make a couple of bucks off her name. Now, I don't have Bray Wyatt's name on this list when it comes to DLC superstars because he was last year's DLC. And also, if you go check out my most recent video, I do explain and go over why I believe Bray Wyatt will have multiple personas in this game as well. But one persona that I did not mention in that video and I do believe will be included in this year's DLC is the Husky Harris persona. And the reason for this being is because this will make a lot of sense. Now, if they don't have all of Bray Wyatt's faces in this game, its base roster, they should have a DLC pack specifically for Bray Wyatt, and all the funds that they make from this pack should go towards the Rotunda family. But let's just hope that Bray Wyatt is in this game in general. Now, when it comes to some more legends that I do believe will be included in this year's DLC, I do believe that William Regal will be in this year's DLC. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we did see him return to TV, and it was just for a brief period. It was with Ava Reigns, where he basically give her like a prep talk of being the GM of NXT. And another legend that I do believe will be in this year's DLC is Sabu. And the reason for this being is because Sabu is a ECW hardcore legend. They should have him in the game also because they do have the ECW arena in this game, and I did see it included in GM mode as well. Now we are down to our final 4 superstars that I do believe will be included in this year's DLC. Now 3 are actually WWE superstars, while 1 is a celebrity. And that celebrity is Johnny Knoxville. Now, the reason why I believe Johnny Knoxville will be included in this year's DLC, because if you look at the previous 2 2K games DLC packs, they at least include 1 celebrity in them. Now, if you look at WWE 2K22, they had Machine Gun Kelly. And if you look at WWE 2K23, they had Debo, which is Ziz. Not only that, but Johnny Knoxville also did wrestle a match against Sami Zayn back at WrestleMania 38. Now, that is the reason why I do believe that Johnny Knoxville will be included in this year's DLC. Now, I wanted to save this superstar that I am about to talk about for last, but you will see why I did not. And this superstar is CM Punk. Now, I do believe CM Punk will be included in this year's DLC, and the reason for that being is because CM Punk made his return back at Survivor Series, which was on November 25th of 2023. And if you look at the date when Bray Wyatt made his return back to the WWE, which was on October the 8th of 2022, those months are literally around the same time. And in WWE 2K23, they did have Bray Wyatt included into the DLC. So there is a high chance that CM Punk could be included into this year's DLC. Now, the last 2 superstars that I do believe will be included into this year's DLC is Naomi and Andrade. Now, they did make their return back at the Royal Rumble, which was literally 1 month ago on January the 27th of 2024. And I know you guys are thinking, how are they going to be included into this year's DLC if they literally just made their return this year and the game comes out in March? Now, this is when I say hear me out. So the 40 Years of WrestleMania edition will include 40 Years of WrestleMania edition bonus pack, which will be available of the summer of 2024. Featuring the WrestleMania 40 arena as well as some other things. Now, if we are basically getting the WrestleMania 40 arena during the summer, it is most likely that they will create a pack that will include these 2 superstars, because I think they did the same thing last year game with Bad Bunny. But anyways, guys, it's been your boy Blix Action here, giving you guys my predictions on who will be included in this year's DLC. And if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, because I will keep you guys posted on a lot of WWE 2K24 news, rumors, updates, and DLCs. But it's been your boy Blix Action, and I'm signing off, y'all. Peace.